John Burnett, Managing Director, One Empire Group, contributor to Newsmax, candidate for New York City Comptroller, and David Eisenbach, Columbia professor, and also candidate for New York City Public Advocate. So, gentlemen, first and foremost, on the commercial break there, we were talking about a pool party at my house. Now, the studio is in the living room of my house. You can see over my shoulder, it's a bright day today, but Old Glory is flying proudly above Tabacco Largo, as it's come to be known lately. And anytime you guys want to do an on-site, we've started to have a few humans in studio. We can make, you know, a full pool party out of it that day. So you're welcome for a liquid lunch whenever you want. And we'll probably get great ratings also. But, all right, so we were talking, we got cut off a little bit there. I want to go back to one thing. I'm going to read this to you, and I've been kind of getting a little deeper down the rabbit hole on some of this, you know, pedophile stuff and QAnon and just reading about it. And I come across this. Under Trump, in 2017, there was an Office of Inspector General report into the State Department. And this is NBC News reporting. I guess back then they used to actually report real news. The agency may have called off or intervened into investigations into possible illegal, inappropriate behavior within its ranks to protect jobs and avoid scandals. Okay? Allegations of prostitution and pedophilia and those crimes were somehow covered up and not looked into. Now the State Department must respond to these claims. All of these happened under Hillary Clinton, including an ambassador and security agents attached to then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. So I wonder why the Secretary of State would be intervening into investigations into an ambassador for pedophilia. It's like weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And the fact of the matter is that our government has taken a hands-off approach. When Acosta looked the other way and made that settlement with Epstein, that was done because he was told that for intelligence connections, there is a very interesting connection between intelligence agencies, some say the Mossad, that has been using sex and pedophilia to entrap people that they go out and blackmail. This is something that's been going on for a very long time. It has ties in with the State Department and presumably CIA. And we have to get to the bottom of this. This cannot be tolerated. Our government cannot be condoning and protecting pedophiles.
John, the memo, and this is again NBC News reporting, the memo says a top State Department official was had directed State Department investigators to cease the investigation into the ambassador's conduct. Just one of what another document describes as several examples of undue influence from top State Department officials.
Well, we've heard stories about Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Prince Andrews, and other prominent people, not only domestically, but abroad, right? So if there's a file of any sort, regardless of who it is, it should be disclosed, and it's time to bring all of this to light.
Yeah.
Regardless of the party.
I don't know if you, no, I'm with you on that. I don't know if you guys saw it, but you know, this whole QAnon with the pedophiles, it's kind of fringe stuff. But yesterday it made its way into the presidential press conference, and they asked the president about it. We have that, Nico? I'll let the guys hear it. They asked the president yesterday if he was sent as an agent to break up a global satanic pedophile ring. I couldn't believe it when I heard it, but check out what the president said. All right, we're almost there. I couldn't believe that even the mention of it made it into the mainstream that far.
Who asked the question, John?
Yeah.
Who was it? Who asked the question?
Who was the reporter? You know who the reporter was? I don't know. I'll get it. But here, check out what he said.
At the crux of the theory is this belief that you are secretly saving the world from this satanic cult of pedophiles and cannibals. Does that sound like something you are behind? Or
well, I haven't heard that, but is that supposed to be a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, you know, if I can help save the world from problems, I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to put myself out there, and we are actually. We're saving the world from a radical left philosophy that will destroy this country, and when this country is gone, the rest of the world would follow. The rest of the world would follow. That's the importance of this country.
Dave, I'm trying to find who the reporter was. She wasn't pictured when she asked the question, but
I just wish both sides would stop with politicizing this. This is right versus wrong, and it's not a Republican phenomenon. It's not a Democratic phenomenon. Pedophilia knows no political boundaries, and it has to be smashed by both parties.
yeah, no, I think we're all in agreement on that. Everyone except, you know, the people that can do something about it. But Trump just put $35 billion aside to house and give services to people and children and adults freed from sex trafficking and human trafficking. So maybe he knows something's coming. On the other side of the coin, getting back to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they want to open the borders. They want to stop the building of the wall. They want to give all illegal immigrants DACA, free citizenship, and then they want more and more people coming on in. And I think recently the Justice Department said that the human trafficking trade is bigger than the drug trade these days. It's only going to get worse, isn't it, Johnny?
Absolutely. I think it's not just about illegal immigration. There's so many issues at the border with regard to drugs, with regard to certain diseases, especially amid COVID, and human trafficking. That's one of the things that's one of the access points, if you will, to bring in individuals, not just converting young girls and boys in America, but to actually import new people to actually supply this horrific underground activity is just atrocious. And for anybody to deny that is happening at the border, when there are reports from the right and left that it's happening, it's a gross negligence and gross willful blindness.
No doubt. Hey, our final minute here. The DNC delegates dropped the term under God from the Pledge of Allegiance. Now, Joe Biden has said we need to teach more Islam in our schools. But at the same time, you know, they drop under God. Dave, what does this mean? I mean, I don't get it.
Well, you know, it's sort of playing the wrong game. They've been so wrapped up in the identity politics and in these kind of symbols, right, to throw out to the left because they refuse to even acknowledge the economic critique that the left is offering, because that's way too radical for them. So they do kind of silly stuff, symbolic stuff like this. They think it's going to please us, but it's not working.
Johnny B.
Obviously, the Democrats do not represent the country with respect to religious values. And on top of that, if Republicans are smart, they would leverage and use that as another talking point and feather in their cap to promote school choice. So those who are Christian, Muslim, and otherwise can actually erect their own system of education.
Yeah. And by the way, for those of you who have forgotten, because the tail has been wagging the dog for quite some time, in 2019, 72% of Americans identified as Christians. So, by the way, we're still the majority on that front. And if the majority of us want to leave under God in the Pledge of Allegiance, I think we should have a voice in that. But guys, thanks so much.